What's going on today, guys? We're wrapping the Beamer.
There was a stock one out there, all red.
This is a gloss diamond blue from Avery. It is from Metro Styling. That's what it's from.
Oh, that GT.
So basically, what we did first is we cleaned the car. I clay barred it because this car has been sitting out.
Speed though, that's all he had.
So it's pretty smooth now.
Like hella wide.
Oh,
it's already all-wheel drive, bro.
Man, he was losing it. All right, so basically what we did first is we measured out the first piece. This is we're gonna do the hood. We just got the hood pretty much done.
Actually, look at this, dude. Like, what you do the whole car, bro? Yeah.
No bubbles. First time ever doing this. You just gotta cut a little slit over here so we can let the air bubbles out, and we'll tuck it under. And then the little slits right here so we can tuck that as well. But I mean, for first time doing it, came out pretty clean. All we gotta do is open up the hood so we can tuck this part underneath, and then she'll be done.
Edited, no sound. You should take off your truck.
Just gonna wrap the doors. I think I would do both doors today. It's pretty sunny. It's good weather to do wrap. As you can tell, I took off the trim. All you have to do is pop them out. And for the door handle, from the inside, you could either pop it out, or what I did was got a screwdriver, stuck it under here, and just twisted. And I just made the little clips come out of all this, the inside, so I didn't really have to do anything from the inside. There's a little screw here that you could just unscrew. There's like 4 little places that you could stick a screwdriver, pound on it a little bit, and it'll start turning out. So I just loosened it enough so the wrap can go inside and I can tuck it around. So I didn't really have to remove it. Clean the surface so there's no oils or anything on there, and I pre-cut the wrap. That way I could, just throw it on there and not really have to fiddle with much. Because this is a pretty flat surface, it's not gonna be too hard, I don't think, but we'll see once we get it on there. So what we're gonna do is peel the paper on the back of the wrap. We're just gonna throw it on there, see what we can do. The easiest thing to do when you put the wrap on is try to get it flat on the middle first, and then pull out the edges. So pull out the edges from here, here, there, and there. That way, it's already unstretched and less likely to get wrinkles. So we're gonna take off the paper first, and then, as you can tell from here, I stuck it on the middle because it is windy and I ain't by myself. It's kind of hard. So I stuck it on the sides, actually not the middle, the sides. And I'm pulling off the paper this way. That way, it's gonna get on there pretty good, and I don't need anyone here to hold up the other side while I peel it off. So if you can see, this is that white film that's on the back of it. It's the sticky part, and we're just gonna keep pulling off until we cover the whole door. So as you can see here, the film that was on the back is off. I stuck on these corners and those corners. You can see how wrinkled it is. Easy fix. All you gotta do is take this corner and pull it. See how I took off most of the wrinkles, and basically the first starting process, you want to do that way you'll eliminate most of the wrinkles. So again, you goes here. Peel it off, stretch. Peel it off, stretch. Peel it off, stretch. So now that it's, you know, basically nice and even, you could try to smooth it out from here. If you still get some, you know, little wrinkle marks, go ahead and just, you know, try to stretch it outward. So whatever the wrinkle mark is showing, so this one, see how it's going diagonal? You're either going to want to pull up, pull down. If you pull to the left, it's not going to do anything. Pull to the right, it's not going to do anything. And basically, you're just going to try to, you know, form the wrap around the door. So see how this part's all nice and smooth. I just had to start from the middle. That way, if there is any wrinkles, you can get them all out by the end. So I will do that, see where that gets us. Alright, so as you can see, it's pretty flat. All I did was use my hand. On this side, you can tell it's a little bulgy now. So basically, what I'm using is my thumb. I haven't been using a squeegee. I found the squeegee is actually pretty hard to use for me personally. If you get air bubbles, no worries. All you have to do is push them out. They find their escape somewhere. Basically, that's all you do. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, the only parts that get really hard is when you add, you know, curves here. It makes the wrap wrinkle a lot. So, my main problem is the side mirror. It's definitely in the way. So, I mean, just get it pretty as flat as possible. You can see there, mid wrinkle. No problem. All you do is reach in the back. See how I left this gap here because of the side mirror? So just go in the back. Pop it out and smooth it down. What works easy too is if you have a hair dryer or a heat gun. I personally like to use a hair dryer because the heat gun, because it is stronger than a hair dryer, you could mess up the wrap a lot more faster than the hair dryer. The hair dryer has enough, you know, heat to make it stretchy and go back to what its original form was. Because basically what you're doing is heating up the wrap back to what, you know, it was in the shape of before, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it much, but it's a memory. So think of a memory foam. When you push down a memory foam, you let go. What does it do? It goes back to right where it was. So that's basically what the wrap is doing when you heat it up. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to either cut here or I'm gonna start tucking it under the side mirror. That way it's not really bulging and in the way, and I can start, you know, finishing it up. I mean, so far it's fine. It's easy. Alright, so as you can see, I have it mostly down. I have it on the bottom. So I'm going to show you guys how to get rid of this wrinkle that's right there. Super easy. There's one right there and there's one right there. So I think I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to do this one. So you see how the wrinkles are moving to the right. What's going to help is if you take the wrap from this side and pull to the left. That way, you know, I mean, basically it just evens it out. So you see it as I pull up and to the left, you're gonna see the wrinkles disappear. Alright, you see that? There's gonna be wrinkles on the top, so that's no problem. These you can just simply push down. It does become deep like this, and what you can do is pick it up, pull it. Not too much, but you know, just enough to pull it up. It's super hard to do. But yeah, basically, you see how now the wrinkles are up to the floor. What you can do from here is stretch it and pull may appear, some more wrinkles may appear on the other sides, but that's going to be a lot easier to fix. And just by simply pulling and stretching out the wrinkles, I mean, you can see it's gone. There's no wrinkles there. I mean, it's just all flat from here. So I'm going to fix that one, and once we're done with that, I'm going to kind of teach you my way of what I do with the gap sticks, you know, with the door handle or any crevices, so we can get the wrap under and tucked inside. That way, you know, it's not going to pull back and peel out as time passes. So I'll get to that and then show you this. Alright, so basically what I did was I cut the excess wrap that was around the mirror, and basically wrapped around the edges. Once you wrap around the edges, the next thing to do is to trim it. So as you can see, I left the door a little bit open, so there's like a gap here. I'm going to stick the blade in between, just cut along the edge. That way it's not going to hit onto the paint that's behind it. It's just going into the gap, and then once the, you know, basically it gets cut clean, it will get tucked underneath the lip around the door. So once I trim that all the way around, then we can get started on this, because this will probably be the most difficult thing, hardest, whatever it is. Alright, so as you can see, I just simply cut around the handle. That little strip that I had removed from here, I put it underneath. That way, you know, when people open my door and they have rings or whatever it is, it doesn't keep messing up the that's under. It's just messing up this little slip that was from here. Everything else that was here, you can tuck underneath, because there's going to be a black panel that's going to cover all this. As you can see, the lock right here, I'm going to just simply, as like the doors, just simply cut around the edges of it. That way I can tuck the wrap underneath, and then when that cover comes back to basically cover this, and I can put that screw back on, everything holds there and nothing's going to slip out. Right, so as you can see, I cut around it. You see that it's kind of sticking out, and this side's tucked in. What I did is I grabbed a screwdriver, kind of softly, you don't want to do it too hard, just softly push it in right where the locking mechanism is. You know, that way you're not tearing into it, and it's, you know, fully being seated. So once you do all that, just put the screw back in, put that cover back on. Before I do that though, you can tell how faded this black is and how nice and shiny the fender flare is I'm basically going to paint it. I'm going to paint it black, put it back on, that way, you know, trim looks all nice and new. I'm also going to do this trim, that way, you know, everything looks nice and new once I put it back on. Also at the very top, you notice how it's kind of ends, and then, you know, there's that rubber piece along there. What I did was stick a screwdriver underneath, or there's this little flap that I think you could pull. It basically lifts it up, that way you can get the wrap, tuck it under, cut along that crease that's in the back, and then this should be able to hold it down once you push it back in. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like after, what it looks like after. Alright, so door's done. And that's it. The other side and end the video here. Get a little sneak peek of the